Oh, what that die. This is the voice of the Patriot, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. And this is our daily editorial. My brother, my sister, is the voice of the Patriot. And today we have a number of issues to look at as usual. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is coming from My Joy Online, and it says Middle East tensions could threaten Ghana's inflation gains. Bank of Ghana governor. And I read. Now, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiama, has cautioned that rising tensions in the Middle East could undermine Ghana's progress in reducing inflation, despite recent improvements in the country's macroeconomic indicators. Now, speaking at the opening of the 129th meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee, I beg your pardon, MPC, Dr. Isiama noted that developments in the global environment since the committee's last meeting could influence the direction of monetary policy in the coming days. He explained that the escalation of conflict in the Middle East has begun to disrupt key global energy and shipping routes, creating volatility in international oil markets. Now, according to him, these developments introduce new uncertainties into the outlook for global inflation. Dr. Isiama warned that higher oil prices driven by geopolitical tensions could escalate into increased domestic inflation through imported costs. For Ghana, the transmission channels are clear. Sustained oil price increases could raise the risk of imported inflation and tighten global financial conditions. He added that, however, that the uncertainty could also bring some advantages for Ghana, particularly through rising gold prices. My brother, my sister, Dr. Isiama has spoken. Of course, it's very much of common knowledge to know that whatever affects the world affects us as well, because we don't live on an island. We live in the world, and everything in the world is interconnected. My brother, we all use fuel, don't we? Tell me one person who doesn't use crude oil in one way or the other. When you sit in a trotro, you are paying for the crude oil and more. When you sit on a motorbike, Okada, you are paying for crude oil and more. When you go out on the market to buy tomatoes, potatoes, onions, oil, you are using crude oil in one way or the other, paying for crude oil. Now, all those things are brought onto the market space via transportation that is fed on crude oil. True or false? That is what it is. My brother, my sister, so if all these things are interconnected and we are heavily dependent on crude oil and its derivatives like petrol, like diesel, kerosene, and so on and so forth, bitumen, we should naturally suffer from the consequences of the bottlenecks of crude oil on the international market. True? My brother, my sister, now let's go deeper into the shenanigans. Watch this. Iran has been attacked by America. We sat down in Ghana and many of us thought that Iran was 7 trillion miles away from here. And for that matter, whatever happens in Iran remains in Iran. Oh, what a mockery. We mocked ourselves. No man is an island and no man stands alone. There is a certain space that a lot of ships pass with a lot of crude oil from the Middle East. And we know that the Middle East is the hub of oil. And the Strait of Hormuz, 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 my brother, my sister, has become the main conduit pipe through which oil is shipped from the Middle East all the way down to the rest of the world. Now, a lot of countries in the past decided not to pick an axe, or better still, to have an axe to grind with Iran because of the Strait of Hormuz. Now, the Strait of Hormuz sits on Iran. In fact, directly, it sits on the nose of Iran. Many people did not go to war with Iran, not because of the power of Iran as in itself, but because Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has been a very peaceful nation. Iran is a country that hardly goes to war with any country. For 200 years, Iran never went to war with any country. My brother, my sister, but America found a way of demonizing Iran and went all the way into Iran, exterminated the spiritual leader, Ali Khamenei. My brother, my sister, and America thought it was going to be a walk in the park. America thought that everything was done, and it started jubilating that, oh, we have exterminated the vile, wretched old man who killed so many people. He is gone. It's now time for Iran to take their own country. He doesn't even know how to pronounce the name Iran. He says Iran. My brother, this is a very demonic leader who does not fit to be in office. Barack Obama said it. Many thought it was a joke. But the fact that the American people voted him the second time into power means that America has something it benefits from this psychopath. My brother, my sister, today Iran has been attacked. Iran is adequately peaceful. Now what Iran has done is to plant mines in the Strait of Hormuz. Do you know what mines are? Explosives. Explosives that have been planted. All Iran needs is to quietly move into the Strait of Hormuz. Plant as many mines as possible and sit back and in Iran, remote controlling them one after the other. And America has no way of dealing with these mines. Time after time, we hear an explosion and the whole cargo of oil goes into serious flames. Every cargo that goes up in flames has a toll on our economy right here in Ghana. Yes, in Ghana we produce crude oil. But what we have forgotten is that the crude oil we produce in Ghana is heavy. It's called HCF. Heavy crude. My brother, my sister, we only have the sweet crude in some portions of the western region, and that is not even seriously in commercial quantities. What does it mean to have heavy crude? Yes, you will be able to work it out and be able to get whatever you want from it, like petrol and the rest. But of course, you will need a lot more energy to be able to break down the heaviness of the crude. A lot of it would be wasted, but you would have some. My brother, my sister, as it stands right now, China has that technology to deal with the heavy crude. So we send a lot of our crude there to China to be broken down and be brought here. We still don't have that capacity to do that. That means that we are still dependent on the world for sweet crude. We are still dependent on the Middle East for a lot of our fuel in this country. My brother, my sister, as long as the Strait of Hormuz is in the hands of warmongers, as long as the Strait of Hormuz is still controlled by the shenanigans and underpinnings of war, we are the grass that will continue to suffer under the weight of the elephants that are fighting. This is what Esiama is talking about. This is what, absolutely, Esiama is talking about. We have made a lot of gains against the backdrop of failure of the JDM administration. But today, as it stands, the president and his team have been able to deal with this, and we were just beginning to heave a sigh of relief. Today, the war in Iran has a huge tendency of undermining all the gains that we have made, and it makes me sad. My brother, all the money that you have saved in your bank account will be undermined. Yesterday, I was in the shops, and prices are beginning to come down. Have you noticed it? My brother, soya milk that I used to buy at 75 Ghana cedis, 85 Ghana cedis in inflation. Yesterday, I bought that for 55 Ghana cedis. It means that things are beginning to take shape, right? Gradually, but diligently. My brother, my sister, that is what happens when our nation decides to be wise. We decide to look at the nation and take the nation first. It's not all about our pockets. My brother, my sister, today, there's a war in Iran. The Iranians have a new supreme leader. He has ordered that more mines be planted in the Strait of Hormuz. They have 100% access to that. And all Trump is saying is that, oh, if it means we have to, in fact, follow all the ships and, in fact, make sure that the sea ships come out of the Strait of Hormuz safe, we will do that. How are you going to do that? There are mines all over the place. Do you have the capacity to pull out all those mines? You're going to end up exploding every single mine. My brother, my sister, the world is in trouble because of a crazy demon sitting in America. A crazy, mad psychopath. He's sitting there. He can go into any country, arrest the leader, take the leader into America and lock him up in a dungeon. What a world. And if you talk, your life is at stake. What do I need my life for if I can't talk about this demon of a psychopath? What do I need it for? To live long and what? Live in falsehood and cowardly. Get the grammar right. And cowardice. Eh? It hurts me, but it is true. John Dramani Mahama may soon start to get a lot of criticism. Oh, the economy. Oh, you know what? Yeah, they were bluffing and boasting that inflation came down to 3% and even below. Now inflation has gone all the way to 7%. They will not look at the underpinnings of the economy. Iran, even America, is now selling fuel in the gas stations at an all-time high amount, at least in a long while. The Mahama administration is doing everything possible to be able to keep the fuel prices low, but the prices cannot be hidden. It is insane. It's coming up. So we should brace ourselves. to meet this. This is time for Africans who make oil to be able to intertrade. Nigeria, Ghana, we should stop the selfishness of having to sell to foreign countries when African countries are here. Let's deal with the continent first. It hurts, but we pray that the war comes to an end quickly. We pray that the Americans remove Trump by whatever means possible and legitimate as soon as possible. Once this demon is removed, I am sure some level of sanity will be restored. Now the next story I want to look at is taken from Ghana Web, and it says Ghana Water uncovers siphoning for tanker sales in Ghana. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Now the Ghana Water Limited, GWL, has uncovered an illegal water connection at the Tema industrial area being used to siphon treated water from the company's main distribution line for sale to private tanker operators. Samson Ampa, Tema Regional Communications Manager of GWL, briefing the media after the operation, said the illegal installation was discovered following a tip-off from a member of the public. Now, the illegal connection was found in a structure opposite the driver and vehicle licensing authority (DVLA) office within the Tema industrial enclave. Ampa explained that the suspect has connected a 4-inch pipe to a 15-inch asbestos cement main line that supplies water to industries and free zones within the area. He said the suspect had constructed an underground chamber more than 3 meters deep with metal steps installed to allow access to gate valve used to control the illegal water flow. Wow. My brother, every day comes with its own problems. Look at what is happening. People are stealing electricity. Some other people are stealing water. Look how the government has made water so cheap. How much does it cost to buy water? What is your water bill like? How much is it? Water bill comes to my house and I pay about 30 cedis. How much do you pay in your house? Moreover, I have a legitimate borehole sitting in my house because we used to have very serious water problems in my area. So I got the people to come and inspect my area and see if I could have boreholes. It was possible. And then they told me my water was sweet. They could get it for me. They dug deep. In no time, sweet water was coming out. Years ago. Right now, with the permission of the Republic of Ghana, I'm able to tap into the water table and get water for use in my house. But even with that, I still pay for water. 30 Ghana cedis. How much do you pay a month for your water? My brother, somebody has decided to steal water. He's planted a whole industry underground. And he's stealing water and selling that to industries. This person thinks that he is smart. He has stolen a lot of water so far. Ghana water is always crying. People in different areas do not have water. In fact, my people in Nungua called me and told me they didn't have water. I contacted Ghana Water. Oh, there was a contractor who was working on the road and he broke a couple of pipes. Later they said, oh, you know what? Some of the pipes are rusty and old, so we are trying to fix them. My brother, some of these things, stealing water, will divert water from a whole community or a number of communities, and they will be there without water. And it will be very difficult for Ghana Water to be able to trace this. And when finally it does trace it, a lot of gallons of water in millions would have gone down the drain. Look at when some of the pipes even burst. Look how much water is lost before Ghana Water comes to deal with the situation. I have never seen a burst pipe in America. Have you? I have never seen a burst pipe of water in England. Have you? My brother, my sister, I don't know how they were able to plant their pipes so that you hardly see them on the street and in places where people pass. But as for us, we see naked pipes all over the place. And when children are playing football, by mistake, when they kick these pipes, water starts coming up and the whole area is deprived of water supply. What technology are they using that we are failing to use? Can we deal with this? The people of Nungua are complaining. They've never had water for months now. Meanwhile, somebody is busily stealing the water. He's stealing the water. Many Ghanaians will not see this as serious, but it's lack of patriotism. If you were patriotic, you will think about what this action is going to do. What this action will do to many people in the area. My brother, my sister, you don't care. Many people are deprived of good drinking water, all because of your actions. You make money selfishly. You are not patriotic. You don't care what happens to the people. All you care about is that you are a thief who is making money. It hurts, my brother. I pray that the authorities will deal with this idiot very, very well. They would make sure that he is paid properly for his actions. I leave it here. Well, my name is Blakk Rasta.